Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Just Dax podcast. I'm your host, Dax, and today is going to be a little talk about people. And now, what people may you be questioning? What type of person are we talking about? I'm going to talk about legitimate, crazy, psychopathic people. Now, those people are hard to decipher. They have a lot of stuff going in their head or lack thereof because of their inintelligence. But the intelligence part of them comes to this peak when they're at their craziest. So let's get right into it. So when we're talking about these people, it's really hard to determine where their psychopathness comes from. I would probably say it's inherited or a demon entered their body, because genuinely the way these people think and the way they act and their actions are insane. So at first you feel bad for them. Normally when you get into the situation with this type of person, they don't come off any specific way. They seem like a normal human being. But when this, insaneness comes out is when they're faced with a trial or they get mad at somebody. And you'll find out that these people get mad over the smallest things, and they'll get mad at specific people because they hold a vendetta against them. And with personal experience, I find it sad that these people end up... I find it sad that these people act that way or think like that in their head. But I kind of feel like they don't think that way. It really just happens. But at the same time, I don't know. Hopefully I'm not a psychopath. I hope you're not either on the other side of this, because but that was very vague, and I kind of want to leave it that way. It's just little things that you go through in life that you learn from these events, and it just leaves you questions in your head that cannot be answered, because when it comes down to it, there are no answers to it. It just happens. But overall, they need to be dealt with. That's why we have psych wards. Send them to a psych ward. That's really my consensus on that. I would say, in all, psychopaths of people can be dealt with in 2 or 3 ways. Say the first way is, once you meet this person, do not interact or encourage their actions or what they say they're gonna do, because it just makes the event worse. So I would either just completely avoid them, and if they say anything to you about what they may do to somebody, just completely forget that it even happened, and disregard anything they say and just stay away from them. Second, if you're in this situation and you just need to get out and you're afraid that you're going to be in danger because of something they may do, my best advice is talk to somebody you're really close to about it, and have them as a backup in case anything happens. But this sounds so bad, but ghost them. Block, ghost, and if they're trying to find you, maybe the cops, you can call the cops, restraining order on them. Now, I know that takes a while because you have to give reasonings and all that, but if it gets to the point, there's definitely a reason that you could, block them or find a way to put a restraining order on them. Well, I'm just going to leave that rant there. Like I said, it's very vague, but it may pertain to you. And I hope that if you're in one of those situations, that you can get out. And if you did get out, you go, because I know how that can feel. Especially if you're not the one directly, correlated with the psychopath. You might be, the friend of the person who's being affected, or a family member of the person being affected, and you see them getting hurt. But at the same time, it's not as, you don't really understand how bad they're getting hurt, because like it all comes together in the end. You don't see it in the moment, you see it at the very end. So yeah, that's where I'm going to leave that. But today's been very eventful. Me and my cousin, we went to church. It's Sunday right now. We go to church on Sundays. Then after that, we just hung out at her house. We went and ate lunch at a Mexican restaurant, a local Mexican restaurant. It's really good. I will complain about the rice though. It's not up to par with what it should be. It's definitely like nasty. It tastes like the color orange, and the color is orange, so it tastes what it looks like, and it's just like, But they have the buffet open on Sundays, and this is a really clean buffet. This is not like everybody puts their hands in there and all that. Really clean buffet. They have the people up there, watching it, and they have these They have these mini churros that you can put on your plate or your bowl, whatever you choose. Look, I give them a 6 out of 10 because they're not the best thing I've ever had in my life, but they are definitely one of those better churros. But 6 out of 10 just because they do have chocolate on them, and I'm not the biggest chocolate fan. Give me a sour candy, and we might have to walk outside because the sour candies or a gummy sour candy combination, that's the best thing I ever had in my life. And it is rotting my teeth out, but I don't care. And the dental insurance is not going to cover that. So if I got to pull the teeth, I'll pull the teeth, because I cannot live without some gummy sugar in my life. Like, those are the best things ever. Now, after we ate at the Mexican restaurant, we just came home and chilled. Me and my other cousin, she wanted to do a little DIY. I'm kind of creative out here. She wanted to change the panels on her PlayStation. Now, instead of just changing them and buying some new ones, because, like, baby, who's dropping $50 on some PlayStation panels when we can go buy $10 spray paint and spray them for $10? Did you know that you can't buy spray paint if you are under the age of 18? Like, if you're checking out, they have to check your ID. And I don't know why. My guess is because vandalism, like, you can vandalize that. I mean, anybody can vandalize, but they're just, like, making it harder for you to vandalize as, like, a minor. But also, I heard that it could be because you can get, like, high off of it. Like, there's ways to sniff it. I'm like, maybe if you're having to go the extra length to sniff that, we're going to have to find another solution for you, because if you had to go that low, I'm sorry, but at that point, I'll just give you. We'll find a way to find that, drug, and we'll give it to you. But we are tempted. When I say attempted, this is a hard attempted, because we found ourselves running into many trials and tribulations. One of those was sanding it. So we had to sand it first, and we bought this, like, sandpaper. I told her not to get the large grit, like, to get, like, a medium-sized grit. And we were sanding it, and it was going well. But the dust, it was just so much dust everywhere. I was just kind of like, I don't like this. And I feel like it just, even though we got the medium grit, I feel like it went too, like, rough. Like, it was way too rough for it. Well, we get that done, and mind you, we're having to do this outside because we don't want to get spray paint everywhere, being ourselves. We don't want to get anyone mad at us. So we use these trash bags on the grass outside, and we're spraying them, whatever, and it looks okay. Like, it looks fine. Tell me why every single bug in the daggum ecosystem had to find its way onto that black spray paint. Like, when I tell you them PlayStation panels looked like I thrown some dirt on it, but if you really look at it close, there's a little bit of wings and some, hands of the little mosquitoes croaked up. The toxins probably killed them. I'm surprised the toxins didn't kill us, but that's probably what happened. So we were like, no way, there is no way that this happened. So we're trying to pick them off with our hands, and we got spray paint on us. I think I finally got all of mine off. Look, I'll focus it on it. I got all of them off, but it was, interesting. I can tell you that for a matter of fact. And the last thing you want is spray paint on your hands because them suckers are hard to scrub. I finally, like I said, got most of it off. There's a little dot on my left hand, but that's not interesting enough for you to see. Now, we get the bugs off for the most part. And we're like, this is not a good place to be spraying this. So we move them, transport them to the back of the house on this like concrete panel. And it's working better. We're like, okay, we'll spray it again. We'll do another spray. Kind of let it just, hopefully coat over the bugs, the remaining, amphibians. Well, they're not amphibians. They're like little creatures who crawled out the depths of the earth. That's disgusting. I'm not an insect person. Or, that's a lie. I like insects. Like, I love butterflies. I can do spiders. They don't scare me. But my dog is crying. Or whining, not crying. Anyway, what I was saying was, I can do insects. But if you throw a reptile... If you throw a reptile at me, I can't even think about it. A lizard... I can do a lizard. My all-time least favorite out there, and do not... If you get near me with one of these, your hand is getting chopped off with it. A snake. Just the thought of it, I hate snakes. I'll chop every single one of them up. Actually, no, I'm saying far away. If there's a snake in a 5-mile vicinity of me that I know of, I'm going the other 5 miles away. We're going to make that distance 10 because the second I see a snake, I'm out of there. I'm booking it. I'm literally booking it. So you won't catch me out there. But we finally got the panels in a position that seemed good, like we were going to be able to cover them good. We set them on the little trash bags, and we spray a coat. Works fine. We let it dry. We come back. Why is the trash bag on top of the panel? Though it was windy, but it was not that windy. How did it... So we're like, crap. So we're peeling it up, and we think the trash bag is taking it with it, and we're hoping it didn't. It did a little bit, So we just spray over it again. And at this point, we're about 4 layers in, where our goal was 5. So we do the 5th one. They don't look great, but they don't look horrible. They're in the middle somewhere, and we're just like, okay, we'll take it. I leave, and I come back. She said she sprayed a glossy coat over it, and it looked better. I need her to send me a picture, but the last time I saw that, it wasn't horrible, but it was not our intended product. That was not what we thought was going to come out. But I hope it does end up looking good for her, or at least a good placeholder until she can buy herself some new ones, because we went through a couple of hard times with that. But nevertheless, we will prevail. So we did that. Oh, and beforehand, when we got the spray paint and stuff, we went to the Walmart. And now, the Walmart, they got them hidden goodies, like them hidden good finds. You can find something real good there. Or they just have the most outrageous, products. I'm like, who approved this? Like them little squishy things. Like if you go through the toy section and you just look and you see those little stress. Like I like it's not called Play-Doh, but it's like the dough stress balls. I like those. Why do you have a cheese-shaped stress toy? I don't know if I can get onto that. And then you have a matching mouse to go with it. Baby, the last thing I knew, the mouse were for the snakes. And them snakes were not for me. Them snakes are away from me. So get me away from the mouse and the snakes at this point. Well, while we were out, buying our little things, I stumbled upon a little something. I'm going to give you a little predecessor to this. I love collecting CDs. Now, I'm not sounding like one of those pick-me's that's like, yeah, I'm different, I collect CDs. I know most people collect vinyls. But I love CDs, and I cannot explain why. I think it's just the packaging and how the product is more compact, but it's still like very professional. I just fall in love with the different designs and all that. So I picked myself up one, and that, just had to be the Eternal Sunshine Deluxe by Ariana Grande. Now here's the front right here. Obviously she's levitating, and then the back is her alter ego Peaches for this, holding a peach now, for this album release. And it came out with, I believe it was like 6 new songs plus featured songs. So we have, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, 9, but 4 or 5 of those are remixes. So you have Intro, Into the World Extended, Yes and with Mariah Carey. I didn't say this. That sucked. Supernatural with Troye Sivan. That one was good. They knew what they were doing with that. The Boy Is Mine with Brandy and Monica. I actually don't believe I've listened to it, so I'm excited to listen to it. Then we have the main tracks, Twilight Zone. That was not added to my playlist, but I did enjoy it. Warm, added to the playlist, 'cause it's warm in your own. Okay, that one's good. Dandelion. Possibly the best extra on this deluxe. Like, genuinely one of the best extras on this deluxe. The intro with the horns and that just like the classical like jazz horns, and this and the beat drop. I'm claiming that one for the deluxe. You have Past Life, very just like Hampstead. There's a big story with that. And I know it has something to do with her and, the little situation with that boy that I'm not going to name, because I feel like if you mention somebody's name that you don't want to be associated with, then it just attracts their energy. So get me away. But I picked it up. I thought I already had it. I had to call my sister and be like, hey, girl, can you go check my CD collection? But I knew I had the original, so I have both the regular and deluxe of Eternal Sunshine. That was just, my little Walmart trip. We grabbed the sandpaper and, had the whole debacle with our panels. But she did kind of get me, like, wanting to do mine. And if hers end up looking better than we thought, then I might do my PlayStation panels. They do really match well though right now with my white desk, because they're white as well. But I was thinking about doing them like a darker green. But you see, when you have the PlayStation light on, it shines blue. So if you're really thinking about, the green and blue might clash a little bit. That's the only like problem I could see there being if I do it dark green. But I haven't been playing it honestly that much because of school, which is wrapping up soon. We got about like 2 weeks. We got 2 weeks of school left and a black Santa napkin. That's my life recently. I know you have seen that. The woman with all the kids and a black Santa napkin. That's how I feel like she said it. Anyway. That's just how it is. And I know this episode kind of took a sharp turn from where we, began with the psychopath talk. But let's just say there was a recent situation that is just, I can't stand. And I needed to talk about it a little bit, just kind of relieve that. But school is almost up. I submitted my supposedly last college assignment for my dual enrollment class, and I have a 91 in there right now. I'm really just hoping that I stay above a 90 with my papers because it's my first like English class online and in college. We've had to write 4 papers currently. This would have been my 5th that I just turned in yesterday, and I've made A's on every single one of them. The last time it was 120 points that you could have gotten. I got 114, and the only problems that she had with it was a couple of like grammatical errors, like where I should have thrown a comma in. And I'm low-key proud of myself because no way I'm taking a college course class writing papers that are receiving A's. Like, call me a scholar or whatever, you know. Well, this episode was kind of short, like 20 minutes, but I just wanted to hop on. I don't really know how long I want to do these episodes. I really just think whatever I feel in the moment, because they also take a second to, upload, edit them and stuff. Or actually, I don't know if you know or not. I don't know what you do with your life, but I hope whatever you're doing with your life is fun and you enjoy the situation that you're in, or find a way to enjoy that situation. Now, I hope you have a great day or night or morning whenever you're listening to this. It's late right now. I mean, no, it's not late. It's just later. It's like 8 o'clock. But yeah, like I said, I had to hop on. And if you ever want to talk to me, just talk to me through the screen. I think about that sometimes. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this episode of Just Dax. See ya.